All right, looks like we're up. Let's get our friends on. And away we go. Hi, everyone. Oh, man, it's good to be here. Good morning. This is actually maybe the earliest I've done these streams. We are currently at, what time is it? It's just before 8 a.m. here in California, over on the west coast of the U.S., and we are waiting for the anniversary live stream of the Dead Space Remake. So it is the 14th anniversary of the original Dead Space release today. And today we are going to be seeing a live stream with some of the creative team from the upcoming remake. So as I'm recording this, it is October 14th, 2022. And the remake will be out in about 3 months. They've released a gameplay trailer about a week or two ago. About 4 minutes or so, showed off some of the new environments, some of the new enemies. It showed off things like some of the new features. Like, for instance, Isaac is going to have the zero gravity mechanic from Dead Space 2 and 3, not the original one where you have to, like, fling yourself across the room. You're going to have more mobility, and that's pretty cool. There's going to be also, they're going to have Gunnar Wright back. He did the voice of Isaac in Dead Space 2 and 3. He's going to be talking. So Isaac is going to talk in this one. But from what I've heard, it's going to be, like, contextually. It's not going to be anything where he's suddenly going to have a ton to comment on all the time. But I think they've said that, like, there are moments where it would be weird if Isaac didn't talk, and so we're going to correct that. So we are going to see, like, some creative liberties being taken, but I think we're going to hear more about that today. I'm just going to bring that down right there. As we talk to the creative team, or rather, as they talk to us, more like it. So I'm excited to hear about what they have to say. I'm excited to see any new gameplay reveals they have, which, from what I'm told, that there is, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. And that's going to be starting in about 4 minutes. If you're not familiar yet, hi, I'm KevinHelpUs, and on my main channel, I do have a breakdown of the original game called The Brilliant Levels of Dead Space. The main channel is linked onto this one, so if you pop into there, it's the first video you'll see. Check it out. It's kind of like a 30-minute love letter to the first game, and sort of talks about some of the fact that I'm here in the Bay Area, in San Francisco, and opens up with kind of a neat little Easter egg of, like, something they developed for the game based on, based on the sound of our subway systems. There's a moment in the game where, hey, my Lord Chaos, good to see you. There's a moment in the game where there's a jump scare in the engine room, where they in Chapter 3, and that's entirely built around the sound of our subway tunnels. So it's kind of a neat little thing. So I'm psyched to see, like, I've been a fan of this game for a long time. We're working on the Dead Space 2 video right now. I'm just locking in the script. I'm hoping to record in the either this weekend or Monday, and then we'll get started. I'm hoping to have that out in early November. We're also going to be covering the Callisto Protocol, which is a game made by a company called Sledgehammer Games. However, one reason, or no, I think they're striking distance now. Never mind. But it's made by the same creative team as Dead Space, so it's going to come out in early December. I think they're, like, rushing to try to get it out before the remake of Dead Space comes out. So same team, all kind of coming together to, like, make another horror game, and I'm psyched about that. But at the same time, we've also then got the Dead Space Remake coming out in late January. So we'll have about 6 weeks of the Callisto Protocol to creep us out over the holidays, and then we jump into the Dead Space Remake. So a lot to talk about in this universe. And I think I'm going to go ahead and start bringing the music down a little bit just to make sure. I know we got a little time, but I would hate for us to miss out on anything. Oh, there's that ambiance. Yeah, my Lord Chaos, I do love the Mega Man mixes. Ugh, they're so good, too. There's so many, there's a great TikTok account that has, like, a little chiptune device that has, like, all of the Mega Man tunes on it and plays, like, modern pop songs. And oh my god, it's so much fun. All right, so we're 2 minutes out. We are currently seeing the flight deck. We saw this briefly in the gameplay reveal trailer. This is, if you're not familiar, this is the very first room that you encounter in Dead Space 1. You land on a ship that should be run by many, many crew members and is completely, well, theoretically abandoned. You're going to find out very quickly that it's not. And I'm sure we'll hear more about that as this goes on. But I appreciate, we're seeing this a little bit more. We're seeing kind of like the, the litter on the floor. We're seeing some kind of paper scraps floating in the air. This is like much more than we saw in the trailer. You can kind of see that like things have gone wrong here. It's also, it's definitely brighter and it's got more moving graphics for obvious reasons, but it's still got that kind of like dingy cyberpunk thing going on. Like Cyberpunk 2077 did this too, where, you know, it's the future, but it's not a version of the future you want. You know, like everything that was supposed to, you know, like bring us all this freedom and all that really hasn't done that. And, you know, you've got the kind of like little dust particles like towards the floor there and all that. And it looks so good. Oh man. Yeah. It's been fun to go back and play too. Actually, I played Dead Space 2. God, I think it was like a year or so after its release, and I have not touched it since. And so like I've really kind of appreciated to get to, you know, experience that again. Do I think the NPC characters will have changed from the original? In some ways, yes. So one thing about that is they're going to be fleshing out some of the characters we've only heard over audio logs in the main game. So apparently we're going to actually either see them or find their bodies, which we never did, including Nicole's. Apparently, we're going to find out. Now, whether Isaac finds out, I don't know, because canonically in Dead Space 2, he still had no idea what happened to her. But apparently in the remake, we are going to find out what actually happened to her. And whether that's going to break canon or not, I guess we're all just going to find out. But I'm excited to see it. All right, here we go. 10 seconds in. Let's see what they have for us. I'm excited. I don't know what's coming. And if you're watching this, neither do you. So I guess we'll find out together. All right, 2, 1, and off we go. Ooh, yeah, it better. Okay, get some flashing images.
USG Ishimura.
Okay, this is the gameplay trailer that we saw before.
USG Kelly responding to your distress call.
Okay, there's the flight deck and the medical. And I don't know where that is.
Isaac Clarke.
What have you got, Isaac?
Has the Ishimura's in the red.
Yep, there's Gunner right. That's all new.
Can you handle it alone?
Gravity tethers from the asteroid.
Centrifuge. Get the fuel running.
Oh, and the centrifuge looks so good. Oh. Okay, this is the bench where we get the plasma cutter.
Medical is overwhelmed.
Yeah,
we need help.
It looks like this is a new actor for Nicole, and I'm glad. I think like they've never really done Nicole all that well in 1 and 2. Fight me if you don't believe me. Ooh. Okay, now it feels like there's cutscenes. There's more cutscenes in the gameplay here. Maybe it's for the trailer. I don't know. Oh. I love the wet smack as they punch. It's so good. Okay. Yeah, here's the zero gravity from Dead Space 2 and 3, which apparently is now in 1. And you're going to have so much more control now. It's going to look so great. I don't know if that means you're going to be able to fly off, though, because you couldn't do that in Dead Space 1. Like, you really couldn't, like, fall up into space. Okay, there was the lurker. There's a leaper. All right, the contact rifle. There's stasis. There's the brute. And I think... Yeah, this is the Leviathan opening. Oh, my God, it looks so good. Now, again, there wasn't a cutscene for this in the first game. So I don't know if there's a cutscene now to open that up, if there's more cutscenes. Here's the marker. And the marker looks a lot more defined.
Humanity.
Like the symbols are much brighter than it used to be. And it looks like Isaac did not survive that tentacle drag sequence.
It's me.
And there's
It's
Nicole.
all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening.
Nicole?
Yep, and there's talking again. All right, that's the Dead Space trailer. We saw that about a week or two ago. And now I think we're going to get a lot more.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hi everyone.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to this 4th dev stream for Dead Space. On this very day, 14 years ago, was the release of the first Dead Space.
Yeah.
And what better way to celebrate this than with a deep dive into the remake of this fantastic game. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Philip, and once again, I'm joined by Raman, our creative director.
Hello, everyone.
And with us, back from our first live stream, back in a year ago, we have Jackie and Khalif. Thank you for being with us
Jackie and
today
Khalif.
for this stream.
It's nice to finally be in person.
Definitely is. What did you think of the trailer?
I mean, it's so cool to see how far everything has come from, you know, us seeing things really, really early and now getting to see, you know, an almost finished game like this. It's just so awesome to see all of it start to come together in this bigger way.
Yeah,
so really
I appreciate they've definitely improved the necromorph design over time.
Playtest to finally seeing everything actually come together as well. It just brings up the nostalgia and the new game, and I'm very, very excited.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, as I said at the start, This is our second live stream with Jackie and Khalif. And then the first one that we did end of August last year, we talked about the approach that we took for the remake.
I didn't love
And
the
some
early
work in progress
necromorph
assets
designs.
to illustrate our intentions. We followed this up with a second live stream in March
But it
with
definitely
our
looks like
audio
it's
director,
improved.
Olivier Asselin, to explain our approach on audio that plays such an important part in the game. In the last live stream that we did in May with Mike Yazijan, our art director, it allowed us to go into the details of how the team is recreating the Ishimura for Gen 5.
What did you guys learn exactly from doing those past live streams?
So it was really interesting to be able to share work in progress or early assets with the community and get early feedback. Like, we got a lot of really good feedback from you, from everybody in the community, but also getting feedback, like for example on the audio of the guns, or how the Ishimura did not look maybe dirty enough, or those kind of things.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
seems
really
like they've done
interesting
some work
for us
on that,
to
and I appreciate that.
continue
It looks great.
To add and polish the assets we were building for the real game.
Yeah, that transparency is something we haven't had a chance to see a lot often in the gaming industry so far. So it was really nice to bring the community in and get feedback.
Apparently, they did this in Dead Space 2 as well, where they took a lot of feedback from players and really kind of built the game according to what they really liked about 1 and what they wanted to see from 2.
Just how was the buzz around it? Because I know a lot of folks are really excited for this coming back and now kind of getting more information and more visuals of seeing what's happening. How did that kind of play into all of that, kind of building up some more hype for it?
Well, for sure, for us, it's a way to get the pulse.
Yeah.
Like what we're making, is it something that's exciting players? And for devs, like every time that we were doing a stream, everyone was looking at the boards and any type of social media trying to follow, like, okay, well, what are people saying? What are the issues? What are the things that they appreciate?
Oh, I hope they took my feedback.
It's exciting to be able to have that feedback much sooner than we usually are, and also not with all buttoned-up assets that are more marketing-y.
Yeah.
And that sometimes
I feel like, I mean, we won't know until we see the final game, but I feel like they at least know they have something really good on their hands, and they can try to improve it a little bit without taking away from what we liked about it. And this being EA, that was not guaranteed. So I appreciate that.
Passion and love that the team has for the game that we're making.
Because like everybody in the team, starting with us, and like, yeah, everybody at Motive or working with us, we're all big fan of Dead Space.
Yeah.
And really doing those live streams, having that open discussion, it really helps us to make sure that we are being true to the original. That not only we are remaking Dead Space and remaking it with the eyes of us as fans, but that's also something true for other people outside of the team that are also fan of the original game. And that was something really important for us.
Okay.
And I hope it shows.
I mean, we'll see what the final product looks like, but it certainly seems that way.
I feel like I learned that very early on in the player council sessions, that you guys do care and you were responsive to critical comments that we had. And it's coming from a place of obviously love and passion for the game, which is nice.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, and it feels like you're bringing all of us back in and closer to development, which is a thing I'm sure is very scary for all of you as well, doing that work and kind of opening up the doors in that way. But I'm excited. Again, like, this is going to be super fun, and I guess we have a lot more to show.
All right, let's get to it.
Definitely do.
Yeah.
Definitely do. So we have many things to show today. So we actually want to start with a gameplay extended trailer we're going to look at. In this extended
All right, we're seeing this for the first time, I think.
Isaac that's going to be walking through the engineering deck. And
okay.
His mission is to repair the engines and to be doing.
All right, so this is chapter 3 of Dead Space 1.
Something that completely went haywire. We'll showcase a lot of the novelties that we brought to the game. But Roman, to kick things off, why don't you walk us through the different priorities that we set very early on the project and that have acted as guiding lights for the production?
I haven't heard this before.
Yes, Phil. But before doing that, I want us to quickly go back to the original Dead Space and just walk you through what we think were some elements that were really unique to that experience and that we really want to recreate and pay really justice to in the remake of the game. And the first one, really unprecedented immersion.
Yeah.
Dead Space redefined immersion convention in gaming. No HUD. Very few cutscenes.
Yeah, the no HUD thing was so... It's weird going back and seeing it now and how much I appreciate that.
Finish. Never letting go of the controller. Iconic setting, inspired by Alien Event Horizon, and the things. Dead Space.
Okay,
was
good.
classic
Yeah, they've got all the
survival
they've got all the
sci-fi
sources
never seen
correct.
before in game with this level of quality.
I love that they're going
Of
back
course,
to
the
that.
gameplay. Strategic action. Shooting monsters in the face was no longer enough.
I think it says
Having
strategy
players
action. I'm blocking it.
think
Sorry.
pressure to survive with satisfying dismemberment mechanics was seen as one of the most unique gameplay takes for the genre's history. Fast forward to today, and Dead Space is back to its roots and better than ever. The first thing we did was to clarify our design goal, defining what it meant to create a true remake for Dead Space.
Alrighty.
Its 4 design priorities are
Ooh.
the original, horror, unbroken immersion, and creative gameplay.
And creative
All right.
gameplay is the last
A great
one
way to
that
set
I'm
the
blocking.
table for what's next.
Cool. Well, let's see what they did with that.
So, like I said at the beginning, we have a pre-recorded video of a walkthrough of some of the section of Chapter 3, Inside Engineering. And it's the first time that we'll air this, and it's the first look at an extended version of Chapter 3, so quite exciting. Let's have a look.
Okay. Okay, this is obviously pre-rendered. Okay, here we go.
Hi, my name is Philippe Ducharme, senior producer on Dead Space. Today, I'm here to give you a first look at one of my favorite sections in the game. So we find ourselves here in the Ishimura's hangar at the beginning of Chapter 3. We're going to make our way towards the control room. In the
we haven't heard
engineering
Hammond yet.
Where we'll attempt to restart the ship's engine. For those of you who remember the original, the hangar was much smaller than it is now.
Yeah, it was. And it
We get to
sounded
explore
like
this location
it was
and
the same
literally
actor for
fly through
Hammond.
it before heading to our destination.
I don't know if they got the same actor or if they're using the same files, but Hammond's voice sounds
Navigating
very
between
similar to the
chapters
original.
without load screens or having a camera cutaway is part of how we've reimagined the Ishimura for the remake.
There's definitely more key
We don't need
prompts.
to rely on
I
the
don't
tram
know that I
as the
love that.
sole
It is a
way to
little
get
immersion
between
breaking.
chapters.
Well, let's see how they do it.
It is now a seamless, interconnected ship.
Yes, that's apparently that's super cool. They're gonna have no loading screens. I mean, they didn't really like between chapters, but apparently even like in Dead Space 2, they're not even gonna have those chapter breaks. They're gonna let you know that chapter's changing, but like the game is just gonna keep going. Okay, so do you have a limit of the
We've got
amount of
two
time
lurkers
that you
here.
can? Ooh.
You can quickly get
You
rid
can
of them
fly.
with a pulse rifle or Isaac's trusty
Line
plasma
gun, line gun. Those things. That is the way to
There
go.
aren't many traditional firearms on board. To survive, you may have to improvise and choose how to take each necromorph down.
Okay, all right. Maybe there's no oxygen in the room.
We're
Yeah,
not
it's zero
entering the
gravity,
ship.
so there's probably no oxygen. That's what that is.
We have a lot to show you, so
Ooh,
let's get
now
ahead
this
to
is
chapter 3.
different. Okay, that was. Yeah, that was a way bigger zero-G section
We've just
than
received
what's
a
in
briefing
chapter
to head
3.
over to the refueling station.
Okay, I think this is a conveyor section. At least it was in the original
To
game,
get
if I
there,
recall
we're
right.
passing through the machine shop over here.
Yeah, I remember you.
If
There's
you
a bunch of
needed
little
to backtrack
hallways.
or simply wanted to explore the ship further, you may encounter a completely different experience.
Oh, I guess so. Okay, so they're gonna let you. Yeah, they're
Different
gonna
enemies,
expand like the beta
the ambience
paths.
and lighting may change. This is what we call the intensity director. It keeps the Ishimura unpredictable and brings some additional tension and challenge.
Got it. Okay, so they have like a variable like challenge director, kind of like Resident Evil 4 did. Ugh.
The way to the refueling station is just a little further ahead.
Yeah, I think they introduced the infectors in chapter 2, and then they're everywhere in this chapter.
As you can see, some memorable moments are authentic to the original. We've added tons of
Yeah, I
graphical
remember you.
enhancement that support strategic dismemberment. Using kinesis, we'll bring that gondola over and make our way to the south refueling station.
Yeah, the lighting looks so freaking good here. And this is a game that just, it can
We
absolutely
need to
just...
gain access to the fuel management
It can only
office,
be improved
which
by that,
contains
you
the
know?
power functions for the refueling station. We can follow that cable to find our way there. One of the things we tried to achieve was to add more context to the various objectives, to expand on what was there, and bring a bit more detail and depth where we could.
Ooh, okay. We haven't seen too much stasis outside the trailer. This is new. I forgot how much I loved stasis until I played 2. It just turns you into a
The
beast.
refueling station has no power. We can look for a way to access the fuel management office.
All right, let's see what they do with that. Oh, we haven't seen the plasma energy clip yet.
This card should allow us in, and we can now make our way back.
Is this Kendra?
Isaac. Hammond.
Daniels?
Yeah, it's Kendra. We haven't seen her yet, I don't think.
Glad to disappoint. I barricaded myself in the computer core. I can hear them, but I don't think they know I'm here. Isaac, I tracked down your rig. You're in engineering, right? I'll get myself admin privileges. Maybe I can help.
Okay, they got an all-new actor
Now
for
that we have
Kendra.
access to this room, we're faced with a very tough choice. We could cut power to life support and rely on
this
air
is
canisters
new.
for oxygen, but today we'll play a section without lights instead.
Oh, that's awesome! You get to choose like what kind of environment you want, because you can only have 2 active. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Okay. So Kendra's all new. Hammond. We don't know if they re-recorded Hammond, but it seems they re-recorded everybody else. But the actor sounds very similar. It might be the same person. I don't know. I mean, the original Hammond did such a great job. I mean, I would hate to recast him. Okay, there we go. We're able to refuel now.
With the power
Oh, it's
restored,
very
the
checklist-y.
south
I
refueling
don't.
station can
Yeah,
now be
I don't know that I
activated.
love that. It feels very like. It reminds me I'm playing a game. You know what? I bet they'll let us turn that off. Oh, it's the decontamination room. Okay, me and my Ripper had so much fun in here.
Using new tech, we've cranked up the tension.
Yeah. Okay. The water spray is new, I believe.
Dynamic smoke creates that thick and opaque atmosphere that makes you lose track of the lurkers, even when they're right next to you.
Oh, wow. They really did sneak right up on me. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. We got the original kick is back. Ooh, you can just hear them slinking around.
It adds to the claustrophobia, the feeling of being
Yeah,
locked
now
in
by
with a
now
pack
I
of
would have the
necromorphs.
line gun and the Ripper. Although the Ripper against the lurkers isn't a great idea. Because they'll pounce on you if you get too close. Alright, so we gotta hang out in this room for a little bit while we get decontaminated. Oh, actually, my Lord Chaos, this is
Our
not
last
going to
stop
past
is the
gen.
centrifuge.
This is
It's
PS5
offline,
and
the
new
Ishimura's getting
Xbox and
dragged down
PC, and
from
that's it.
planet below.
Please attach generator modules.
We've added so much detail in here.
Yeah,
Particle
wow.
effects, lighting, floating debris.
Yeah,
We
this
wanted
room
to
looks
be
so
imposing and tell
completely
a
different.
story
And
at
yeah,
the
I
same
kind
time.
of agree. I'm all right
It's
with
a
it
lot
not
more
going to
impressive,
past
and
gen.
its size makes it harder to keep track of the incoming.
Sorry,
necromorphs.
if you're on PS4 or Xbox One, I feel
Audio
you.
plays a huge role here in identifying the direction of threats.
Okay, so we'll be able to stasis people in 0G. Alright, yeah, you gotta stasis that and then bring it over. That's not gonna work.
With one of the generator modules back in place, we can head to the second one. Flying in 0G and not being anchored to the surface makes spatial awareness extremely
Yeah,
important.
so this
Combat
bottom
encounters can
level
quickly become
didn't
deadly,
exist in
especially
the
with
original game.
troopers.
It was like these generators were on the flat ground. And then it didn't open up until after you started the centrifuge. So this
And
whole
now, with the
below
generator
section is all
modules
new.
powered up, the centrifuge is ready to be activated.
Let's do it.
Generator module attached. Clutch engaged. All personnel clear for centrifuge restart.
Okay. So then in the original game, the
I
floor
hope you
opened
enjoyed
up.
the sneak peek at the new Dead Space. Thank you for
Oh,
tuning
I
in.
did. Thank you. That was great. That was a lot of the set pieces from Chapter 3 were all there.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
It was.
wild.
From
Hey,
the
language.
hangar to decontamination to centrifuge to the interconnected gameplay to the intensity director, the list goes on. The first thought after seeing that is,
I wanna know
why
more about
fuck
the
am I
intensity
using the
director.
tram? The answer is
Hey, Saskia, good to see you.
Now we can go back and play multiple playthroughs with different options. You have more exploration.
Can I port
It
over
was
my new
amazing.
game
It's
plus settings?
incredible.
Probably
Well,
not.
I want to talk a little bit about the intensity director because I think for a game like this where folks are coming back to this kind of content,
Which I imagine
one of
most
the
people
things
are.
that people talk about a lot is
Not
like,
everyone.
well, what's going to be different in the playthrough that I'm going to have when I go in and go back into a game like this? Talk a little bit about the intensity director and how that's going to change
Yes,
the way
yes,
folks
yes,
are going
please
to be coming to this new version of a game that they might have played before.
it was important for us to have something, like to have the right balance between what's scripted in the game and what keeps the players on its toes. We've obviously, and we've seen it in the trailer, we've kept a lot of things scripted. Like we have to have those precise jump scares at certain moments.
Yeah, you can't change
to
too
have
many
the
of
highs
those.
and lows in the intensity of the gameplay. But since we're bringing the tram and the retraversal throughout the entire ship, we needed something to be able to fill those sections of gameplay and make sure that there was things that were surprising the player so that the tension could go back up. And so for us, that was important to find that right balance and to figure out a way to keep the player on the edge when re-exploring and walking around the ship.
Okay.
And so the thing is that
Got it. So it's only in certain
there's
sections.
multiple elements that comes in it. Like, so yes, there is the scripted golden path moments, and those ones, every time you're gonna play them, they're gonna play exactly the same. They're gonna play once, and that's it. But even in those, sometimes there might be a twist. Like, you might expect slasher coming from that vent, and it's not gonna be there, or those kind of things. But they're gonna play mostly the same every time you replay them, if it's a new walkthrough or whatever. And then we have a series of systemic events, like if it can be just fights, it can be messing with the lights, messing with the sound. There's different events that we can play with, depending if you.
Okay, so they've got elements of randomness in the not perfectly scripted areas. So it's kind of like Dark Souls 2 with different enemy placements. Maybe, except like even in Dark Souls 2, you know, I mean, those placements were scripted when they got remixed. Whereas it seems like there's going to be some dynamic events where like maybe something will jump out at you in one playthrough and maybe in another it won't. And that sounds great. I'm all for that.
Three intense fights. Maybe we're not gonna throw him another huge fight with tons of enemies and stuff. Here in the next corridor, we're just gonna play a little bit with the lights that are going to blink and some creepy whispers in your ears, and that's it. Or that place, we really want you to feel safe. And so yeah, even the lights going to be okay. No more creepy whispers, whatever. Yeah. But that vent. There's gonna be something weird about that vent.
Oh, see that? Okay, I'm really excited about this. This is a great idea.
And make you jump, and all those things will be handled by the intensity director.
And I know you also talked about this, you know, pre-stream and pre-conversation was, you know, even the slashers are going to be a little bit different when you see one as opposed to the other. Talk a little bit about that because I thought that was super cool.
Talk about that.
So that's something in the original, like all the slasher, they already had some kind of job when they were humans about the ship, like depending on which bridge you were like seeing medical miners or medical guys.
Oh.
So that's something we definitely kept.
Okay, neat. All right, so they're going to change up kind of the different roles on the ship, and then those are going to be reflective of the necromorphs.
To the slashers, and makes you really like every time you're gonna shoot a slasher, we would like you to feel like it's a different guy. And so on top of giving them jobs and different clothes and stuff like that, we also gave them ethnicity because the Ishimura, it's really as a diverse.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. There wasn't a lot of diversity on the original one. Well, there was, but not.
It really feels every time it's a new guy and it's a new. You can really believe playing the game. We're trying to reinforce the immersion around that. Like, yeah, those monsters, they used to be the crew.
So should we feel sorry now for the
maybe
for the
I might.
Take out? No. We're like,
yeah, I don't know if I want to feel bad for killing necromorphs, man.
You gotta go.
Well, maybe I will though. We'll see.
Can you cook the guy?
I mean, one of them could have been Nicole. We don't know.
I have friends who can't.
It hasn't been answered yet. We'll find out.
But yeah, a lot of conversations about that for sure.
I think we should talk also about audio. Audio is obviously the massive staple. It's what drew me in initially to Dead Space and really kept me, that whole intrigue. In this trailer, in Decontamination, for example, we have the increased fog, like the dynamic fog that you can't necessarily always see where enemies are coming from, which is really interesting because
I was surprised by that. Like, I mean, I know they could have done it for the piece, but like, I didn't see the lurkers come up at all.
By the way, is fucking massive. It's huge. I love how you're showing the original game. Because you recall like these different areas,
the SOS scene comes to mind. Oh,
imagine these huge environments, but now looking at what the
and
remake
that
is,
shooting
just
off the SOS beacon is going to be
honestly,
huge.
and it's much darker.
Feeling bad for killing
I
Necro.
really learned a
Oh,
lot
because of the
about
ship
that.
that shows up. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I really, really like that since these spaces, you still have smaller spaces enclosed for that claustrophobic feel, which is true to the original, but you also have these very, very large rooms now that are extremely built out, grittied down, very gritty looking and dark and immersive, but you don't know where ads are necessarily coming from because of the intensity director. It's not just the same vent every single time, which is great because then you have to utilize your audio and really listen for where ads are coming out.
Oh, that's going to be so much
I
fun.
love
We're
that
going to have a
aspect, and
blast
I like
playing this. I'm going to have a blast
decontamination.
playing
It's
this.
much
We're going to play it
scarier
together.
in
It's going to be
my
great.
opinion now. There's a lot to like.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you touched on a lot of points that were points of interest for us. So audio, that we had, like I said, Olivier that went in and explained how we're trying to recreate in one of the past streams, and it is something that like was such groundbreaking. I think in the initial game, it was so well done. But the addition of the occlusion and making sure that we understand where is the sound traveling from when you're navigating the ship, to really hear the threats and say like,
I
oh,
might
no,
need to
that
get some
creature's just
positional
falling
headphones
behind
for
me, but
this.
I have someone in front of me now, like
I've got a good speaker
what should
system
I
here at
do?
home, but like, oh
And we
man,
do play
for
around with that,
the
like,
headphones,
in the
it'll sound
scripted
so
sequences,
good.
But also the intensity director, like Aman said, there's a lot of events that are either foreshadowing events that may lead to something or not, or post-shadowing. Like if the enemy decides to jump through a vent and walk away and run away, you'll hear that enemy travel within the world.
So or if he's trying to actually run away after you because you ran away, you saw him and you were like, no, fuck it. Switch room, and you're gonna hear him go through the vent, crawl in the walls, and come back from another.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it plays such an important part, and with the music, with the sound effects of the guns and everything, and we're getting to a place where it feels good. It feels right when you're listening.
Yeah, this is
the
a great
right
game to
tune,
play
the
with
right
headphones.
mix. It's always something that we do until
Or the
very
original was.
end,
I'm sure this
the
will be
mix
too.
of every sound element. But the team's done an amazing job, and it's great.
Yeah. Real quick, I got to talk about Isaac having a voice in this too.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It's really, really interesting. A lot of folks are going to be excited to see how that's going to play out in the game too. Talk about how important it was to add that layer to this game too.
So yeah, definitely early on that was a huge deal. The discussion around Isaac voice, like in one of our first council, we spoke about that, and at first
I'm still mad that I wasn't the voice of Isaac. I'm still salty about that. I didn't get that role. I raised my hand a lot.
Are you sure, guys?
You would have done a good job.
So our thoughts about that was like, so yes, we were making Dead Space, but who's Isaac? Who's that guy? And thinking about Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3, for us, Isaac Clarke, it's gonna write. It's the actor that's
I mean, it
Isaac
can't
in
not
Dead
be,
Space 2
right?
and Dead
I mean,
Space 3 that give his voice to Isaac in Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3. To the point of which in the team we call him Gunner Clarke. It's really is the guy. And so going back to Dead Space, there were elements that we wanted to enhance in terms of narrative.
I wouldn't have been
And
surprised
one
if they
of
recast
those
it. And like,
was
just
Isaac
lately
as a
we've had like
character.
a lot of talk about
Why is
like
he
the
coming to
Mario
this
trailer and
nuances
Chris Pratt
relation
taking that
to
over,
his
and so I appreciate they have
character
the
as
kind of like the
And
same feeling of
also
like, no, we
giving
got to
a
bring
bit
Gunner
more
right back.
agency, to have him a little bit more passive, like when you enter an area and you get Hammond or Kendra telling you everything you exactly have to, and what, you're supposed to be the engineer. Like, that's your role. Like you're supposed to be the guy that knows how.
I'm curious about how different the room
actually make
puzzles will
those
be.
stuff and get out of that alive.
I wonder,
So
it seems
for
like they're going to
all those
open up
reasons,
the extra
early
paths
on
to
we
be like
started
new,
to
so we may
think
see
about,
some
okay,
new puzzles
we
there.
should go back to Gunner.
And I hope so, because obviously I know all the
that
solutions.
guy, the
Yes, go back to
Isaac
Gunner, right.
Also in Dead Space 1. And we should give him a voice. And now that's allowed us to unlock all those different elements around giving him a bit more personality and agency in what he's doing and stuff. But the one issue, of course, was with horror.
Which is what?
Because isolation, it's a huge element of the horror in Dead Space. And it's that element like when you're in the dark and you have to go in the basement and you're looking for the lights. Know what I'm talking about, Califrax? No. And you don't find the fucking lights and you start to talk to yourself because it reassures you.
Yeah.
And that was definitely something we didn't want it for Dead Space. We didn't want it, Isaac, to start to talk when he's alone because that would break Little Big G.
I don't know. I talk to myself all the
we have
time.
that
I would definitely be doing
one
that if I was
rule
Isaac.
That is almost true across the game. We maybe break it once or twice, not more. Which is Isaac only talks when he's being talked to. He only answers. Like you get to medical, you see the barricade, Hammond starts talks to you.
Yeah,
and
the Chris
Isaac
Pratt
will
thing, I
answer
get
and
it.
say,
You know, they're
"Yeah,
trying to
there's a
appeal
fucking
to an
barricade,
audience
I have
that's
to
not
blow
me.
it."
It
And
makes
it's
sense.
Isaac that's
But
going
like,
to come with the plan.
I don't know.
Of
I
what
appreciate
to
it when
use,
they have
what
some,
to use
you know,
things
reverence
to
for the
blow the
original.
barricades.
And yeah, Sasuke, I do see you.
But then, once that communication is done, and you're alone in medical, well, you're alone in medical, and he's not going to comment what he sees, and he's going to shut the fuck up. And that's something that's really important for us, and I think it really improves the immersion because also it gives reactions to Isaac to elements that were feeling weird if he was not reacting to or if he had no emotion about what's happening.
Okay, be interesting to see what
I'm
qualified for
super
that.
excited to see that come to life because I know when I am scared, I do really, really dumb things.
Me too. Absolutely.
I talk to
Yes.
myself. I beatbox. So Isaac, we hopefully will beatbox.
I don't know if I beatbox.
When he's scared, so we'll see how
That's
that
okay.
works.
Maybe I should try.
You'll hear him grunt, and like throughout the exhaustion, and when he's tired, you're gonna hear him paying when he's hurt and everything through the Eli system.
Yeah.
But no, he's not gonna mumble to himself like you do.
Okay. Good. Good on him. For sure.
Okay, well, it wouldn't be a celebration
Oh.
without showing some more awesome stuff for the Dead Space.
What do we got? Let's see.
I'd like to introduce our friends at Limited Run Games. Alina, Jared, great to have you both join us.
What
Do
are
you love
here
Dead
to talk
Space?
about?
Of
Yes,
course
I do.
you do.
Of course I do.
I'm Jared from Limited Run Games, and I love
Hi,
Dead
Jared.
Space too. And I'm not the only one here who does. For example, to my right, your left, my friend.
Alina. Hi, I'm Alina from Limited Run Games, and we are super excited to show you what we have for Dead Space fans.
You told us you wanted a Dead Space Collector's Edition,
Okay.
and we listened.
Big old box
and you
set.
said what you wanted, most of all, was this, the Isaac helmet. And holy
Oh,
crap,
man.
it happened. Isn't this amazing?
That
and
is
we're gonna
cool.
Get to it in just a minute. Yes, it's the most exciting part, but there's also some really great other stuff in this
Okay, what else you
Collector's
got?
Edition we want to show you. And for more on that, Alina.
So we're super excited to talk about the components of this Dead Space.
Do you get a
Collector's
marker?
Edition. There's so many awesome things I could start with.
Oh,
so we've
cool.
got a 4-inch premium marker statuette. It's beautiful.
I don't want that thing in
it's
my
gonna
house.
Be heavy,
No,
and
bad
we
things
can't
will
wait
happen.
for you guys to put it on your desk. We also have a steelbook included, which has the Dead Space logo and Isaac's silhouette on the back.
Okay, totally interrupting here, but I want the embroidered Ishimura 3-inch pack.
Oh,
will stick
I
it
have a
on something. I
backpack
don't
that
know,
would look
on
great
my jacket,
for-
my hoodie here, my forehead. I don't know. Where are you going to put it?
I don't know. You could put it on anything. Maybe a backpack.
A dog?
A dog.
A pig?
A
Dinosaur?
pig too. Yes.
Pizza?
Yes.
Don't eat it.
But it might taste good.
Yeah, getting back to this, apparently we also have
probably
a
not.
lithograph of some sort.
Yeah, we do. We also have a lithograph print encased in a bifolding
Oh,
portfolio.
that's
It also
neat.
has foil stamped logos on the front of it. It's going to be awesome.
I want to get my hands in this marker enamel pin. You can stick it in your Crocs, in your bulletin board, in your wall. You can stick it
Okay,
anywhere
yeah,
you
I
want.
would have use for that
And
pin.
a soundtrack and 4 mini posters.
And now, what you really came here for, that's
helmet.
right, the Isaac helmet. Look at
I
this
was looking
thing
for
of
these
beauty.
when I
It
was
lights
first
up.
doing the,
It's big.
the
It's
Dead Space videos.
hefty, and it's absolutely
And they're hard to
enormous.
find.
Not only is it big and hefty and enormous, it's also
glad they're putting out more of that.
adjustable. Now,
Oh,
I
good.
have a truly colossal noggin, like a big old
Me
fat
too.
head.
Oh, yeah.
And this thing, watch this. Goes right on it. That's right.
Looks good. I wouldn't stream in
Alina,
it,
is
but
this an
looks
improvement?
good.
I think it looks very good.
You do? Well, you know what? I mean, okay, so once again, it's adjustable, so it'll fit any size head or almost any size head. My
Yeah, having
head,
the soundtrack in there is
probably your
great.
Head, definitely Alina's head, but you're not going to put it on.
My hair. So
Fair.
yeah, there's a lot of love and passion that went into the creation of this helmet. It's based on in-game sculpts. Our team worked directly with the character artist to get the paint, shape, and feel just right.
You can feel the love that went into every texture of this helmet. Folks, this is a spectacular collectible. I really, really hope you're going to enjoy it. We're happy to offer it Alina, tell folks where they can get it today.
You can pre-order the Dead Space Collector's Edition for a limited time on limitedrungames.com. You can get it for PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC.
Okay. Friends, this is one spooky piece of headgear. We hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Neat.
Thank
Bye.
you, Alina, Jared, everyone at Limited Run Games. This looks great. Thank you for putting this together. What are your thoughts?
My eyeballs immediately gravitate towards the LED helmet.
Yeah, how can you not?
I'm more looking at the marker. I love small things you can put on your desk and kind of show.
The marker would be fun because you
nerd
have to
in
know
that
what
way.
it is,
And
right?
really,
Otherwise,
I
it would
like
just
the
look like a cool
propaganda
little
poster
sculpture
stuff,
for
like,
everybody.
you know,
It would
kinda
fit
getting a
in
chance to
well,
see,
whereas
like,
the helmet
inside the world
definitely
of the
it draws
game and
attention.
those kinds of ways, that stuff always makes you really happy. So, are you gonna wear the helmet though?
I am.
Yeah.
On stream.
Oh, she is. Yeah, on stream. I don't. It feels like that would get
Also,
sweaty.
following
I
some
don't
of
know.
the streams, we saw the comments from fans that like they've liked the shorts that we had, the hoodies that we shown at the different live streams.
Ooh, there's hoodies?
And we're asking where they could get it. So
Yeah,
like,
we're gonna get one.
happy that working with different teams internally, we actually were.
I'm in
able
San
to
Francisco.
spin out,
Hoodies are basically
a
suits here.
shop that's going to be coming soon. So we're going to be able
Ooh.
to get sort of the shirts like mine. Like
Okay, I think it says gear.deadspace.com. Sorry, I'm blocking it.
Stuff like that. So keep on the lookout for the store coming soon, right?
Yeah.
All right, time to wrap this up.
All right.
Huge shout out to our team at Motive and all of the collaborators that have helped us bring this remake
Yes. Oh, I am so excited for this. This is going to be so much fun.
To everyone working on that project, whether it's at Motive or all of our partners, but also to everybody in the Community Council. Thank you very much for all your feedback, for helping us make that remake a true Dead Space experience, and to everybody in the larger community.
Oh, why thank you.
tuned in
Happy to
during the
help.
live stream that gave us feedback that also helped us shape that remake. Thank you very much.
We're lucky to have the community council that's
Oh.
with us today for the
Hey,
anniversary
everybody.
live stream. So thank you all for
Oh,
your
it's the
presence.
community
Your
crew.
Feedback has been very useful all throughout production. So being with us since conception, it's been great. Thank you. If you like what you've seen today and are excited
And I
about
do.
the return of Dead Space on PC
And I am.
next-gen consoles, the game is available for pre-order. Or you can mark your calendar for January 27th, 2023.
Yeah, something
We're
tells me
eagerly looking
we'll be
forward to
doing that.
date. Be sure to follow our different social channels to stay up to date.
Oh
on
yeah,
all
okay,
Dead
so the
Space
bench on
information,
Instagram is
so
how
you
I knew
don't
this
miss
is actually going to
anything
happen.
leading
If
up
you're
to
not
it.
following it yet,
Jackie,
that's where they announce these
Khalid,
things, so
thank you
follow
for
the
being with
bench on
us today.
Instagram if you're not yet.
Excited to play some more of the game?
I mean, it is time now for us to stomp out some Necromorphs. I'm excited
Yeah.
for that. I'm excited to check out the Ishimura and all the goodness that you put in. So it's time. It's time to get it on.
I'm really hyped for launch. Ready. It's about time.
Oh yeah. Roman, comme toujours, un plaisir.
Merci, Phil.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the stream today and looking forward to showing more of the game to you all.
Cool. Thanks, folks. All right. Well, oh wait, are we watching the trailer again? We might be watching the trailer again. Seems like we are. Okay. All right. One more time. Now that we know what we're watching, this will be a little bit more informative. Yeah. Okay. Flight deck. The medical deck. I'm excited about. That looks cool with the fire effect.
Clark.
What have you got, Isaac?
Half the Ishimura's in the red.
Okay, that's got to be from the opening scene. That's from chapter 1. That's 7 with the asteroid. I don't know this one. That's all new to me. The centrifuge, we just saw all that. There's the patient in chapter 2. Yep. Now, this was not a cutscene in the original game. I don't know if it'll be a cutscene in the actual game. I guess that looks like the medical deck. We'll find out. Yeah, this is in chapter 1, where it pops out of the roof. Ugh, just with its guts hanging out like that, it's so gross. I love it. Boom. All right. Yeah, that stasis effect where it has like the what looks like electricity just running all over their body, that looks great. I guess that's what's holding them in place. I guess, is that from... Yeah, I don't know what that is. That might be a side quest where he's outside the ship in zero gravity. That was not in the original that I remember. Okay, we got the contact rifle. Oh, that's cool. We got the big Leviathan reveal. Now, this needed a bigger reveal. I'd actually be fine with this being in cutscene, because it's a cool moment, but, like, I missed it in my playthrough. Because I was off looking at something else. Oh.
Humanity.
I don't know who's talking here. It might be Mercer, who we have not seen yet.
Or without you.
It would make sense. That sounds like something Mercer would say.
It's all falling apart here.
This would be like the third version of Nicole.
Nicole?
And there we go. All right, so the game comes out January 27th, I think they said. January 27th, 2023. Yep, okay, there we go. So if you haven't yet, it is available for pre-order. We'll definitely be covering it on here on this channel. I also, just as a reminder, on my main channel, Kevin Help Us, I did a graphics comparison of the trailer we just watched and the original Dead Space. So if you're curious to see how they line up side by side, feel free to check that out. And of course, we have the long form Brilliant Levels of Dead Space, which is on my main channel. If you're a fan of the original game, it's about a 30-minute love letter to that one. And finally, actually, we had this idea last weekend, and we're going to do it. So starting tomorrow, for our regular Saturday streams, we're going to start the original Dead Space. So we're going to be doing Chapter 1 of the original Dead Space starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube. We'll be multi-streaming everywhere, but definitely come to YouTube to this channel because that's where it's going to be located. And then we'll be finishing up Resident Evil, the remake of Resident Evil, on Sunday, and then we'll pick a new game after that. So we'll talk about that. But thank you for being here. I'm stoked about what I saw. I hope you are too. And I think it's going to be a great move for the series to come back and for people to like experience it for the first time. So thank you for being a part of it with me, and I will see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great